Fresno police officers were called to the victim of a gunshot wound. Despite being transported to CRMC for treatment, Paul Fierro died as a result of that gunshot wound. The officer's investigation on scene revealed that there had been a neighborhood disturbance. People were drinking and several windows had been broken, at which time suspect Rocha exited his residence with a shotgun and fired it at victim Fierro, injuring him severely, what turned out to be a mortal wound. Detectives quickly identified Rocha as the suspect in this case and began our normal attempts to locate him here in Fresno and in the surrounding area. Unfortunately, they were unable to locate him. After months of looking, the trail went cold as far as the apprehension of Rocha. Information came in, and with the help of the U.S. Marshal's Office, here, thank you for joining us. Numerous places here in California were checked in different cities, locations here locally, but again, negative results, and we were unable to locate Rocha. In February of 2025, we began running social media ads through Crime Stoppers, but again, a dead end, and we weren't able to come up with any information on Rocha's whereabouts. Then in May 2025, detectives recontacted several individuals that were interviewed during the original investigation and learned that there may have been additional information on where Rocha could be living. Once we were able to narrow that down to San Antonio, Texas, based on additional investigation, again conducted by the U.S. Marshals and Fresno Police detectives, we reached out to San Antonio PD, and they were extremely helpful. They also have a Crime Stoppers in San Antonio who our local Crime Stoppers connected with, and we were able to run numerous ads in San Antonio, Texas, both through social media, local media, and of course through the Crime Stoppers there in San Antonio, where numerous tips were received with regard to Rocha's location. Despite his efforts to flee the immediate San Antonio area, we were able to track him down and locate him in Waco, Texas, with U.S. Marshals taking the lead on that, where Rocha was arrested without further incident and taken into custody. Ultimately, he will be extradited back here to Fresno from Waco, Texas. And part of the reason, obviously, we want justice for Rocha's family, but to highlight the coordination here between Fresno Police Department, Crime Stoppers, and San Antonio PD and locating this murderer from 2023. It's a good example of not just the collaboration between agencies, but we don't let any murder just go away. We continue to search, and despite sometimes time will go by, it's never a cold case when there's information that we can still continue to seek out there, and which we did in this case, and again with the help of Crime Stoppers and San Antonio PD, took Rocha into custody for the murder of Paul Fierro in Fresno. So, any questions?
What happened? Can you describe what happened that day?
Of the murder?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were neighborhood that people were drinking out in the neighborhood, several people outside. It was unclear, but there was a disturbance in which it sounds like the windows of the victim, Fierro's house, were broken, and there was some discussion and disturbance out in the front yard. And then in the middle of that, suspect Rocha exited the house with a shotgun and fired it at the victim, Fierro. So it was really rather unexpected. It was quite an escalation to what was just a neighborhood disturbance, and very disturbing, obviously, the level of violence at that particular incident.
Did they have contact before this? Was there any problems before?
Yeah, I'm not aware of that, but they were neighbors, so there was interaction, or the family were neighbors. They had some chance at interaction previously. I just don't believe that there was any that we established.
Did he have family in Texas that he was able to hide out there for so long?
He did have family in Texas. What we learned, he was able to avoid detection by using fake IDs along the way, and that was what made it so hard for us to track him down. He was working and living there in San Antonio when it got hot there for him because of all the social media and the Crime Stoppers campaign was when he fled to Waco, where he was ultimately located.
Was he born here in Fresno? Is he from Fresno?
Yeah, I'm not confident on the location where he was born, but he was residing here in Fresno at the time of the murder. All right.
What was the award for at the time? Yeah. Did you guys give out an award yet or anything like that? Was it Crime Stoppers?
The tip did lead to an arrest, so we are.
Have you?
Hi, Thank you.
Your name?
Erica McGarrian. I'm the executive director of Valley Crime Stoppers. And yes, we will be paying out a reward because this tip did lead to the arrest of the suspect in this case. And I believe it was a $3,000 reward for this particular homicide.
How many awards have you given out this year so far?
We've given out approximately $40,000 in rewards so far this year through Valley Crime Stoppers, through anonymous tips, leading to the arrest of suspects in various cases. We've done everything from theft all the way up to homicide.
Do you know how many people have been arrested with that 40,000 for you guys?
Off the top of my head, approximately 20 people have been arrested. We're right at our halfway mark for the year, and we're on target to do hopefully double that by the end of the year.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So, although this is a tragedy, I want to make sure we don't lose focus on Paul Rocha and, on victim Fierro and his family. It is just a good example of the collaboration with the community through Crime Stoppers and the power of social media to help bring a murderer to justice. So we appreciate Crime Stoppers. We appreciate the U.S. Marshals that we work with on a regular basis, this time with the results being the apprehension of a murderer. So thank you to the community for being willing to, over the course of the year and over the past years during our partnership with Crime Stoppers, to provide us with information to help bring suspects to justice. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, anytime we have a suspect who is wanted and we put it out to Crime Stoppers, we also get media attention, right? Our media partners are very helpful, but eventually other stories come along and the media, our local media partners, can't keep it at the forefront. And that's where Crime Stoppers also comes in, is that we just don't let these things go away. Obviously, things change over time. With a crime, people might not be willing to talk at the time or even a week or a month later, but Crime Stoppers helps us keep these investigations alive. And it could be months, years in this case later, where we can highlight these crimes. And sometimes people break up or relationships go south, and then someone's willing to talk. And there are a lot of different reasons why it's important to keep recirculating these cases. And Crime Stoppers, without Crime Stoppers, we just couldn't possibly do it to the degree that we do now and have obviously the reach. It's not just a local program, it's a nationwide program. And through these partnerships across the nation, we can still work together to bring these individuals to justice that need to be arrested. You bet. All right. Thank you all so much. Oh, absolutely. Dale.
Good morning. My name's Dale Mendoza. I'm the president of the Crime Stoppers for a lot of years back. But we actually work with Fresno Police Department and some of the local agencies, and without the help of the Fresno Police Department and our agencies closest to us, we can't get this stuff done. We can't participate back in getting these bad guys off the street. We actually work through our social media. A brand new tool we just got on board a couple months ago is posting. So when there's a criminal that has created a crime here locally and he's in another state, and we can actually post that this criminal did this crime here, and we'll post it throughout the western states, and it goes in. And that's how we caught this guy in Houston, and that's where it started. And that was through the Valley Crime Stoppers and the Fresno Police Department. So with the working together with these agencies, especially Fresno Police Department, we're getting a lot of stuff done and getting a lot of bad guys off the street. We have a fella, John, from the Fresno Police Department, that works for us, that takes the tips and gets them directly to the agency here and the detectives, so we can get right on them and get these bad guys off the street. It's so important. And it's so important that the community helps through fundraising in different areas to keep the Crime Stoppers up and running, so we can do our posting and do our social media. It's really important to get these things done and to give the police department as much help as we can to get these guys off the street as fast as we can, like we did in this case with Houston and with Waco, where we finally ended up catching him. Thank you.
Do we know if
Rocha's the
committed any
suspect.
other crimes while he was on the run?
And not that we're aware of. His criminal history involves just some misdemeanor convictions. Some of those serious, they're domestic violence related, and other domestic violence related arrests, but no felony or other violent convictions outside of domestic violence.
Before
Yeah, and we don't have any any evidence or information to lead us to believe that he committed crimes in between the murder here and his apprehension. But again, we don't know for sure. That maybe they weren't reported. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.